Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Capcom Second Arcade Stadium running on Nintendo Switch. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit more in depth on each game. There'll be an episode per game, so what was that, like 30 games? Of course, we've actually played some of these games before on the previous Capcom Arcade Stadium, which boggles my mind that there are repeat titles. And of course, there are some games that are also on other collections, the Beat 'em Up collection and the fighting game collection. So how they managed to all get in here, you know what? Maybe some poor planning on Capcom's part. So let's look at Capcom Sports Club. I know we played a little bit last time, but this time let's just dedicate this this smaller episode just to this. Oh, it doesn't have an attract mode? I would guess it would. Oh boy, my favorite, sports games. Arcade sports games. Sports games on the list. Alright, so Dunk Stars. This is going to be closer to NBA Jam or Arch Rivals. Just kind of a more cartoony visuals. Okay, we're playing Dunk Stars. So let's see. Who would be the worst country in Dunk Stars? Germany? Or, I mean, Italy? Germany, my goodness. I mean, maybe? I don't know. I don't think I've ever watched, like, Olympic basketball. Obviously, this is not that, though. Oh, B button to shoot. Then we have the pass is A. B is shoot. Then on defense, if you want to foul, or you want to block, or steal, I guess it's A. B jump block. Again, super simple controls. That's the way it should be. I'm sure there's a turbo button. I'd be surprised if there wasn't. Oop, that's messed up. Oh, look, okay, we got it. Oh, okay, maybe the Russian team's okay. I wasn't expecting them to be any good. Yeah, oh, alright. These are the most non-Russian looking Russians I've ever seen. There's actually a large Russian community where I live, so... ooh. Strangely enough, I don't ever think I've seen them play basketball. That was good. That was a good game. Please tell us your name. Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know why this collection is so low on the volume. The previous game, I think the volume was okay. In fact, I think it might have been too loud on the last. At least the default levels were too loud. Here they're too quiet. I mean, these games are, you can barely hear them. I'm just gonna... My character's just gonna watch the ball. Not a ton of dunking from the Russian team, it doesn't seem like. Ooh, ooh. I'll say these games are like amazingly fast-paced. I mean, you really had to pay attention. I mean, I'd almost say they're a little too fast, considering the kind of sports these these kind of games are. Not that basketball isn't a fast-paced sport. It obviously is. Probably the fastest-paced sport of all these games, at least in real life. But it's like kind of hard to track everything. Oh, jeez. Oh, computer AI coming on strong. You're gonna slap these guys around, it seems like. Yeah, it's like the Three Stooges for the Russian team. Larry, Curly, and Moe. Alright. Let's see what happens this time around. See if the AI is the same or if it's different. Oh, both teams are exactly the same. Okay, never mind. All the artwork for all the teams is the same. Oh, what in the hell? Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep track of where your players are, you know? Or which one is being auto-selected. Again, because it's so fast-paced. Oh my goodness. By one. Oh, never mind. The hairstyles were slightly different. Not by a lot, though. I imagine the USA team would be the strongest stat-wise. I mean, of course, the game is played internationally, but yeah, there's a strong presence of basketball and more in the USA. What the? Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. I do wish there was an announcer like NBA Jam. I think it's part of the what made that formula, you know, so great. my team can suddenly start dunking all the... What the heck? Ugh, it's hard to get those rebounds. Right, guy looks like he has an airplane on his head is the MVP. Hard to love the way that team looks. At least the moms are proud. Extended plane, I think that's fine. Get the basic idea. Yeah, it's fun. Obviously, if this was sitting next to NBA Jam or Arch Rivals, I'd probably be playing either one of those games. But it's competent, right? It's a fast-paced game. Can be really fun. I suppose if you had multiplayer in here, it'd be a lot more enjoyable as well. Nothing really wrong with it. Like I said, it's missing a little bit of an extra touch. But I think, if you were to see it in the arcade and put a quarter or two into it, I don't think you'd be unhappy that you played it. Let's do Smash Stars. Smash Stars, when we were playing this before, man, this is a rough game. Well, the AI is relentless on the tennis game. Let's see. Who generally tends to... Yeah. We'll rep South Korea. Why not? Usually it's like the English or the French that win these games, so... Ah. What? What? Oh, my God. Oh. That's a rough one. I forgot I'm on top of the screen. The computer is relentless. It is so hard. Ah. Alright, let's try that again. Sorry, South Korea. I'm not representing you well. Wow. What? Oh my God. Ugh. This is like the hardest game of tennis. I mean, I think I had less of a hard time the last time we played, but it's it's still really, really difficult. So the game moves kind of too fast for its own good. You know, tennis is a little bit more measured than this. Why is it hit the racket so dead? Like a bullet. Oh my god. That's so hard. I just don't have much control over how dead that hits. The problem with tennis games is that there's a lot of degrees. I mean, it's a pretty simple sport, but there's a lot of degrees that you can really flub up. You know, since how you hold the racket and the distance and everything. I mean, one of those things it's more complicated than I think a tennis game can really represent without it playing like an RPG. So you really got to make a tennis game super simple, or else it's just too hard to make into a game. Even something like Virtua Tennis, which I kind of felt was the best of the tennis games out there. Even that felt like you didn't have that much real control over something. Like a lot of shots just kind of completed on their own. But again, you kind of have to do that in a tennis game. Otherwise, representing real tennis is incredibly difficult. What? Are you serious? Really? What? Why is this so dead? It's hard to tell where she's going to hit it, too. Why? I don't get it. Ugh. I mean, are the teams really that different? Maybe. The South Koreans are not bad at tennis. Certainly not how I'm playing it. Why did it just go straight to the net? Man, it's boggling my mind how the shots are reacting. It seems like even the computer doesn't really know how to respond to, a return. Because it'll just stand around, just not doing anything sometimes. Like it's all in the serve or nothing. Wow, that is incredibly difficult. I cannot believe how hard this game is. And it just moves around at just lightning speed. It's so hard to track. Yeah, maybe I gotta pick a different team? I just can't imagine it. I can't remember why that was that went the way it did. Here we go. Alright, let's see if this is any different. Oh, it's completely different. Boy, a Japanese game where they make the South Koreans terrible. That seems unpredictable, huh? Well, I can't tell you how. That's really disappointing. Of course, I don't know. I don't know if South Korea was not like doing particularly well this in the year that this was developed, or what. But it's certainly not true now. There's some strong South Korean players. Ugh. Oh, it's a clay court? Okay, that's the bounce is gonna be different. Ugh. Okay. Boy, returning the computer serve is I mean that's a feat in itself. Ugh. It's much harder in the far court. Oh. Oh, this computer is brutal. Really is. This is the second match? Oh my god. Oh, you can tell the computer kind of knows where I'm going to hit it too. Because it immediately rushed to the left and the right when I was trying to guide where the ball is. Yeah, there's no way you could know that. It's definitely a cheating computer. Ah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the end, get to the finals. It's really tough. It doesn't help that it just moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Oh, this is tough. Really, really tough. I almost think it's to the point where it's not that much fun because it's so tough. I think the base game is pretty good. Although it does move a little too fast, and so it's hard to sort of gauge where your shots need to go and like how high the ball is off the ground. Which I think is there's like some pretty good systems dictating where the ball should be. It seems, but it's just hard to keep track of with the game moving so fast. Yeah, that's probably the weakest of all the games. Things where the speed really is makes it really difficult. All these games move fast, at a very fast pace. But yeah, the tennis, I think it hurts from that, from being that fast. I just have a hard time figuring out where my players are. Ow! Oof. It's so hard. Swear I'm playing a game of Street Fighter instead. Ugh. I mean, I'm glad you can set up fast plays, but it's hard to do because it's just happening it's happening too quickly. Injury time? Does that mean I get to injure somebody? Draw game, 1-1. That is definitely a soccer match, indeed. But some of the most exciting games end up in a draw, so, Well, I mean, in sudden death at least. I know Americans don't think so. But... Whoa, look at that. Oh my gosh. I don't mean to get in the box. I really don't. Where's my character? Oh, God. I just don't know where he is half the time. The other half the time, I don't know where he is. Strong goalie. My shot average, nothing. How weird is it that basketball is like... I mean, like, of all these sports, I like basketball the least, but that seems to be the one that I was the most successful at. Boy, the difficulty on this. I mean, it's definitely a game that would take some quarters from you. I mean, I'm glad all the games, you know, they're so fast-paced, or at least they take a small amount of time to play. I don't like the fact necessarily that the game runs so fast. Like I said, it's almost to the detriment of these games that they run so fast. Maybe this would work if the playfield was zoomed out more, because it feels kind of claustrophobic, especially when you're talking about soccer, you know. For sure, the AI doesn't let up. I mean, they don't give you, like, the first match. The game definitely punishes you right off the bat. Oh, what the hell was I doing? Five 3. That is an unreal score in soccer. You certainly get your money's worth if you had a score like that in an actual soccer match. That was just the first team. My god, this game. I mean, you can definitely tell I don't play a lot of sports games. Only have like just like the bare minimum concept for all these. Are we playing in the rain? Oh, I guess we are. We're playing like on the beach. I don't know what the hell my players are doing. Did you catch it when he was on the grounds? Are you serious? Keeps basket to the wrong person, too. Oh. Make you work for your points. That's for sure. Oh, what the hell happened there? Okay. Oh, is that a thing that actually happens? Oh. So hard. It's so hard. So fast paced. Oh my goodness. Spain winning a World Cup. How strange that ever happens. All right, why don't we stop it there? This is Audapostrophe. You've been watching Capcom's second arcade stadium running on Nintendo Switch, and of course we're playing, what was it, Capcom Sports? Is that what we're calling it? Yeah, thank you. Boy, it takes a little bit just to get to a title screen. My goodness. Capcom Sports Club. Okay, so we've been playing Capcom Sports Club. That's part of the again Capcom Second Arcade Stadium. That's they're good games. It's not like they're not good, but I think they really cranked up the speed on these. I mean, you don't really want to play games that are this fast, especially sports games. There's a lot more nuance in a sports game that can just go by so quickly when you're playing these games. But they are, they control well. They're excellent looking and sounding when you can hear them. I hope there's a patch to increase the volume at some point in time in these games. And if you have some memories of them, I think you'll have fun, especially if you're playing in a multiplayer setup. If you have some friends over and have a bunch of controllers, I think you could really get some mileage out of these games. Nice and simple. Anybody can really understand them. Again, not the full nuance of the regular sports, not a sim. And I think they all play similarly enough where you could play all of them and have fun. The tennis is probably, that's definitely the hardest of the games. I think the AI is just absolutely brutal on tennis. I mean, it won't even give it won't give you anything, any leg room or leeway. You can tell because even the CPU doesn't really react to a lot of back and forth. It's like you either serve really well, or you just have some miracle shot. So that one's probably the least strong of the three games. The basketball seems to be the strongest because that one is kind of a better play dynamic. Soccer, strangely enough, I would have thought that would have been the strongest game, but I think the playfield is just a little too close in, even for an arcade game. It'd be very, very hard if you had if you had 2 players, I think it'd be very hard for either of you to keep track of all the action. But again, criticisms and nitpicks aside, these aren't simulation games. As arcade games, I think they work as advertised, and the emulation is spot on. There's no sound drops, there's no frame rate drops, and it's nice and responsive. I don't really feel that there's any lag in it. So if you're playing, or if you're purchasing this game individually, like I said, you maybe have some memories of it, then yeah, it's fun. As a sports game, probably most people who play sports games are not going to be into this. And for those of you who are not into sports games but like something that's fast paced, maybe I think it's just a little hard. I think they're a little just too fast for you to keep track of what's going on. But that's my opinion. I like my games to play a little slower than this. If I'm going to be forced to play a sports game, then please at least let me keep track of stuff. Yeah, I mean, maybe you'll like it. Check it out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.